Estamos at the art of war. Got it. Okay, I'm wondering if I'm 9. Okay, it's chapter 9, the art of war. Here you go. The army on the march. Sun Tzu said, "We have come now to the question of encamping the army and observing signs of the enemy. Pass quickly over mountains and keep in the neighborhood of valleys. Camp in high places, facing the sun. Do not climb heights in order to fight. So much for mountain warfare. After crossing a river, you should get far away from it. When an invading force crosses a river in its onward march, do not advance to meet it in midstream. It will be best to let half the army get across and then deliver your attack. If you are anxious to fight, you should not go to meet the invader near a river which he has to cross. Moor your craft higher up than the enemy and facing the sun. Do not move upstream to meet the enemy." So much for river warfare. In crossing salt marshes, your sole concern should be to get over them quickly without any delay. If forced to fight in a salt marsh, you should have water and grass near you and get your back to a clump of trees. So much for operations in salt marshes. In dry, level country, take up an easily accessible position, with rising ground to your right and on your rear, so that the danger may be in front and safety lie behind. So much for campaigning in flat country. These are the 4 useful branches of military knowledge, which enabled the Yellow Emperor to vanquish 4 several sovereigns. All armies prefer high ground to low, and sunny places to dark. If you're careful of your men and camp on hard ground, the army will be free from disease of every kind, and this will spell victory. When you come to a hill or a bank, occupy the sunny side, with the slope on your right rear. Thus you will at once act for the benefit of your soldiers and utilize the natural advantages of the ground. When, in consequence of heavy rains up country, a river which you wish to ford is swollen and flecked with foam, you must wait until it subsides. Country in which there are precipitous cliffs with torrents running between, deep natural hollows, confined places, tangled thickets, quagmires, and crevices, should be left with all possible speed and not approached. While we keep away from such places, we should get the enemy to approach them. While we face them, we should let the enemy have them on his rear. If in the neighborhood of your camp there should be any hilly country, ponds surrounded by aquatic grass, hollow basins filled with reeds, or woods with thick undergrowth, they must be carefully routed out and searched, for these are places where men in ambush or insidious spies are likely to be lurking. When the enemy is close at hand and remains quiet, he is relying on the natural strength of his position. When he keeps aloof and tries to provoke a battle, he is anxious for the other side to advance. If his place of encampment is easy of access, he is tendering a bait. Movement amongst the trees of a forest shows that the enemy is advancing. The appearance of a number of screens in the midst of thick grass means that the enemy wants to make us suspicious. The rising of birds in their flight is the sign of an ambuscade. Startled beasts indicate that a sudden attack is coming. When there is dust rising in a high column, it is the sign of chariots advancing. When the dust is low but spread over a wide area, it betokens the approach of infantry. When it branches out in different directions, it shows that parties have been sent to collect firewood. A few clouds of dust moving to and fro signify that the army is encamping. Humble words and increased preparations are signs that the enemy is about to advance. Violent language and driving forward as if to the attack are signs that he will retreat. When the light chariots come out first and take up a position on the wings, it is a sign that the enemy is forming for battle. Peace proposals unaccompanied by a sworn covenant indicate a plot. When there is much running about and the soldiers fall into rank, it means that the critical moment has come. When some are seen advancing and some retreating, it is a lure. When the soldiers stand leaning on their spears, they are faint from want of food. If those who are sent to draw water begin by drinking themselves, the army is suffering from thirst. If the enemy sees an advantage to be gained and makes no effort to secure it, the soldiers are exhausted. If birds gather on any spot, it is unoccupied. Clamor by night betokens nervousness. If there is disturbance in the camp, the general's authority is weak. If the banners and flags are shifted about, sedition is afoot. If the officers are angry, it means that the men are weary. When an army feeds its horses with grain and kills its cattle for food, and when the men do not hang their cooking pots over the campfires, when the army feeds its horses with grain and kills its cattle for food, and when the men do not hang their cooking pots over the campfires, showing that they will not return to their tents, you may know that they are determined to fight to the death. The sight of men whispering together in small knots or speaking in subdued tones points to disaffection amongst the rank and file. Too frequent rewards signify that the enemy is at the end. Too frequent rewards signify that the enemy is at the end of his resources. Too many punishments betray a condition of dire distress. To begin by bluster, but afterwards to take fright at the enemy's numbers, shows a supreme lack of intelligence. When envoys are sent with compliments in their mouths, it is a sign that the enemy wishes for a truce. If the enemy's troops march up angrily and remain facing ours for a long time without either joining battle or taking themselves off again, the situation is one that demands great vigilance and circumspection. If our troops are no more in number than the enemy, that is amply sufficient. It only means that no direct attack can be made. What we can do is simply to concentrate all our available strength, keep a close watch on the enemy, and obtain reinforcements. He who exercises no forethought, but makes light of his opponent, is sure to be captured by them. If soldiers are punished before they have grown attached to you, they will not prove submissive, and unless submissive, they will be practically useless. If, when the soldiers have become attached to you, punishments are not enforced, they will still be useless. Therefore, soldiers must be treated in the first instance with humanity, but kept under control by means of iron discipline. This is a certain road to victory. If in training soldiers' commands are habitually enforced, the army will be well disciplined. If not, its discipline will be bad. Right? If a general shows confidence in his men, but always insists on his orders being obeyed, the gain will be mutual. Thank you. Okay, here we go. It's Korean now. Namaste. 행군. 무릇 군대를 주둔시키고 적의 동향을 살필 때에는 산을 넘어 계곡에 의지하고 살 수 있는 땅을 보고 높은 곳에 주문해야 하며 급경사가 있는 지형에서는 그 지역을 올려다보며 싸우지 않으니 이것이 산악지대에서 주군하는 군대의 전쟁 원칙이다. 강을 건너서는 반드시 물에서 멀리 떨어진 곳에 주군해야 한다. 객이 물을 건너 쳐들어 오면 물가에서 맞아 싸우지 말고 절반을 건널 때까지 기다렸다가 공격하면 이롭다. 강을 건너는 적과 싸울 때에는 아군이 강에 근접해서 객을 맞아 싸우지 않아야 한다. 살 수 있는 땅을 보고 높은 곳에 주둔해 물의 흐름을 거스르지 말지니 이것이 강물에서 주둔하는 군대의 용병 원칙이다. 무릇 이 네 가지 용병의 유리함은 황제가 사방의 우두머리를 이긴 까닭이다. 무릇 용병은 높은 곳을 좋아하고 낮은 곳을 싫어하며 볕이 드는 곳을 귀하게 여기고 이 늘진 땅을 천하게 여긴다. 생명을 보양하고 단단한 땅에 주둔하면 군대에는 온갖 질병이 없어지니 이를 필승이라고 한다. 언덕과 제방이 있는 곳에서는 반드시 볕 드는 곳에 주둔하고 오른쪽 등 뒤에 두어야 한다. 이것이 용병의 유리함이고 지형의 도움을 받는 것이다. 상류에 폭우가 내려 강물에 물거품이 떠내려오면 건너려는 자는 그것이 가라앉을 때까지 기다려야 한다. 무릇 행군하는 지형에는 절간, 천정, 험간, 천례, 천자, 천함, 천극이니 있으니 이런 곳은 반드시 빨리 벗어나 가까이 하지 말아야 한다. 아군은 이런 곳을 멀리하되 적군은 가까이 오게 하여야 한다. 아군은 이런 지형을 마주보고 정군은 이런 지형을 등지게 하여야 한다. 행군하는 길가에 험하고 막힌 골짜기나 질펀한 소택지, 갈대가 우거진 늪지, 산림, 모촉이 무성한 곳이 있을 때에는 반드시 조심해서 거듭 그곳을 수색해야 한다. 이런 곳은 복병이나 간첩이 숨어 있기 때문이다. 적이 가까운 곳에 있는데도 고요한 것은 그들이 험준한 지형을 믿고 있기 때문이다. 적이 먼 거리에 있으면서 싸움을 걸어오는 것은 아군을 끌어내기 위함이다. 적이 험군한 지형이 아니라 평지에 진을 쳤다면 그곳에 진태어 용이한 인점이 있다는 것이다. 많은 나무들이 움직이는 것은 적이 오고 있다는 것이다. 풀숲에 장애물을 많이 만들어 놓는 것은 우리의 의심을 일으키려는 것이다. 새들이 날아오르는 것은 그 아래에 봉병이 있다는 것이다. 짐승들이 놀라 달아나는 것은 적군이 기습해 오기 때문이다. 흙먼지가 높고도 날카롭게 일어나면 적군이 전차게 진격해오는 징후이고, 흙먼지가 낮고 퍼지듯 일어나면 적군의 보병이 진격해오는 징후이며, 흙먼지가 흩어져서 일어나면 적이 땔감을 채취하는 징후이다. 흙먼지가 적에 왔다 갔다 하는 것은 진영을 구축하고 있다는 것이다. 적군이 겸손하게 말하면서도 전비를 갖추는 것은 진격하려는 뜻이다. 적군이 강경하게 말하면서도 진격하려고 하는 것은 퇴각하려는 뜻이다. 가벼운 전차가 먼저 나와 그 측면에 머무르는 것은 진을 구축하고자 하는 것이다. 약속도 없이 강화를 청하는 것은 음모를 꾸미고 있기 때문이다. 적들이 분주하게 뛰어다니며 전차를 정렬시키는 것은 공격 시기를 기다리고 있는 것이다. 반쯤 직격했다가 반쯤 퇴각하는 것은 아군을 유인하기 위해서이다. 적이 병기를 지팡이처럼 기대고 서 있는 것은 굶주리고 있기 때문이다. 물을 길어 먼저 마시려고 하는 것은 목이 마르다는 것이다. 이걸 보았는데도 진격하지 않는 것은 필요해 있다는 것이다. 새가 모여든다는 적은 적의 병력이 비어 있다는 것이다. 한밤중에 큰 소리로 부르는 것은 두려워하고 있다는 것이다. 군대가 소란스러운 것은 장수가 진중하지 않기 때문이다. 깃발이 흔들리는 것은 부대가 혼란스럽다는 것이다. 지휘관이 노여워하는 것은 병사들이 게으르다는 것이다. 말을 죽여 고기를 먹는 것은 군대에 식량이 없다는 것이다. 군령의 질장군을 거르지 않고 막사로 돌아가지 않는 것은 적이 궁지에 몰려 있다는 것이다. 간절하면서도 타이르는 모습으로 천천히 병사들과 말하는 것은 뭇 병사들의 믿음을 잃었기 때문이다. 상을 자주 내리는 것은 궁색하기 때문이다. 벌을 자주 내리는 것은 곤경에 처했다는 것이다. 장수가 이전에는 난폭하다가 나중에는 그 병사들을 두려워하는 것은 지극히 정명하지 못하다는 것이다. 아군에게 사람을 보내 사죄하는 것은 병사를 쉬게 하고 휴전을 원하고 있기 때문이다. 적병이 성내며 직격해왔음에도 서로 마주했는데도 오랫동안 싸우지 않고 또 서로 물러나지도 않는 것은 반드시 삼가 살펴야만 하는 것이다. 병력이 더 많다고 좋은 것은 아니며 오직 부모하게 진격만 하여서도 안 되고 병사들의 힘을 하나로 집중시켜 적을 헤아려 판단하고 인재를 취하기만 하면 될 뿐이다. 단지 깊은 생각 없이 적을 얕잡아 보면 반드시 적에게 사로잡힐 것이다. 병사들이 장수와 아직 친해지거나 기다려도 하지도 않는데 그들에게 벌을 주면 복종하기 않겠단다. 복종하지 않으면 다루기가 어렵다. 병사들과 이미 친해졌다도 하여서 벌을 행하지 않으면 다룰 수 없게 된다. 그러므로 병사들에게는 문으로서 명령하고 무로서 통제하면 반드시 승리할 수 있는 군대라고 말한다. 명령이 평소에 잘 시행되고 그 사졸들을 가르치면 사졸들은 복종하게 된다. 명령이 평소에 잘 시행되지 않았는데 그 사졸들을 가르치려고 하면 사졸들은 복종하지 않는다. 명령이 평소에 잘 시행된다는 것은 모든 사졸들과 서로 친화하기 때문이다. Okay. Taking a little break and then the Old Testament next. Thank you. Okay. Exodus chapter 27. You are to make the altar of acacia wood, 7.5 feet long and 7.5 feet wide. The altar is to be square and 4.5 feet high. Make horns for it on its 4 corners. The horns are to be of one piece with it, and you are to overlay it with bronze. Make its pots for removing ashes, and its shovels, basins, meat hooks, and fire pans. All its utensils you are to make of bronze. Make for it a grate of bronze netting, and on the 4 corners of the netting make 4 bronze rings. Put it under the rim of the altar, so that the netting reaches halfway up the altar. Make poles of acacia wood for the altar and overlay them with bronze. Its poles are to be put into the rings. The poles are to be on both sides of the altar for carrying it. The altar is to be made of planks and hollow inside. They are to make it just as you were shown on the mountain. Here is how you are to make the courtyard of the tabernacle. On the south side, facing southward, are to be tapestries for the courtyard made of finely woven linen, 150 feet for one side, supported on 20 posts in 20 bronze sockets. The hooks on the posts and the attached rings for hanging are to be of silver. Likewise, along the north side are to be tapestries 150 feet long, hung on 20 posts in 20 bronze sockets, with silver hooks and rings for the posts. Across the width of the courtyard on the west side are to be tapestries 75 feet long, hung on 10 posts in 10 sockets. The width of the courtyard on the east side, facing east, will be 75 feet. The tapestries for one side will be 22.5 feet long, hung on 3 posts in 3 sockets. For the other side, there will be tapestries 22.5 feet long on 3 posts in 3 sockets. For the gateway of the courtyard, there is to be a screen 30 feet made of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and finely woven linen. It should be in colors, the work of a weaver. It is to be on 4 posts and 4 sockets. All the posts all the way around the courtyard are to be banded with silver and to stand in sockets of bronze. The length of the courtyard is to be 150 feet, and the width 75 feet everywhere, with the height 7.5 feet. The tapestries and screen are to be of finely woven linen, and the sockets are to be of bronze. All the equipment needed for every kind of service in the tabernacle, as well as the tent pegs for the tabernacle and for the courtyard, are to be of bronze. You are to order the people of Israel to bring you pure oil of pounded olives for the light, and to keep a lamp burning continually. Aharon and his sons are to put it in the tent of meeting, outside the curtain in front of the testimony, and keep it burning from evening until morning before Yahweh. This is to be a permanent regulation through all the generations of the people of Israel. Chapter 28. You are to summon your brother Aharon and his sons to come from among the people of Israel to you, so that they can serve me as Kohanim. Aharon and his sons Nadav, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. You are to make for your brother Aharon garments set apart for serving God, expressing dignity and splendor. Speak to all the craftsmen to whom I have given the spirit of wisdom, and have them make Aharon's garments to set him apart for me, so that he can serve me in the office of Kohen. The garments they are to make are these: a breastplate, a ritual vest, a robe, a checkered tunic, a turban, and a sash. They are to make holy garments for your brother Aharon and his sons, so that he can serve me in the office of Kohen. They are to use gold, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and fine linen. They are to make the ritual vest of gold, of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely woven linen, crafted by a skilled artisan. Attached to its front and back edges are to be 2 shoulder pieces that can be fastened together. Its decorated belt is to be of the same workmanship and materials: gold, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely woven linen. Take 2 onyx stones and engrave on them the names of the sons of Israel, 6 of their names on one stone, and the 6 remaining names on the other, in the order of their birth. An engraver should engrave the names of the sons of Israel on the 2 stones as he would engrave a seal. Mount the stones in gold settings, and put the 2 stones on the shoulder pieces of the vest as stones calling to mind the sons of Israel. Aharon is to carry their names before Yahweh on his two shoulders as a reminder. Make gold squares and 2 chains of pure gold twisted like cords. Attach the cord-like chains to the squares. Make a breastplate for judging. Have it crafted by a skilled artisan. Make it like the work of a ritual vest. Make it of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely woven linen. When folded double, it is to be square, a handspan by a handspan. Put it in settings of stones, 4 rows of stones. The first row is to be a carnelian, a topaz, and an emerald. The second row, a green feldspar, a sapphire, and a diamond. The third row, an orange zircon, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They are to be mounted in their gold settings. The stones will correspond to the names of the 12 sons of Israel. They are to be engraved with their names as a seal would be engraved to represent the 12 tribes. On the breastplate, make 2 pure gold chains twisted like cords. Also for the breastplate, make 2 gold rings, and put the gold rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. Put the 2 twisted gold chains in the 2 rings at the 2 ends of the breastplate. Attach the other 2 ends of the twisted chains to the front of the shoulder pieces of the ritual vest. Make 2 gold rings and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate, at its edge, on the side facing in toward the vest. Also make 2 gold rings and attach them low on the front part of the vest's shoulder pieces, near the join above the vest's decorated belt. Then bind the breastplate by its rings to the rings of the vest with the blue cord, so that it can be on the vest's decorated belt, and so that the breastplate won't swing loose from the vest. Aaron will carry the names of the sons of Israel on the breastplate for judging over his heart when he enters the holy place, as a continual reminder before Yahweh. You are to put the Urim and the Thummim in the breastplate for judging. They will be over Aaron's heart when he goes into the presence of Yahweh. Thus, Aaron will always have the means for making decisions for the people of Israel over his heart when he is in the presence of Yahweh. You are to make the robe for the ritual vest entirely of blue. It is to have an opening for the head in the middle. Around the opening is to be a border woven like the neck of a coat of mail, so that it won't tear. On its bottom hem, make pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet, and put them all the way around, with green bells between them all the way around. Gold bell, pomegranate, gold bell, pomegranate, all the way around the hem of the robe. Aaron is to wear it when he ministers, and the sound will be heard whenever he enters the holy place before Yahweh and when he leaves, so that he won't die. You are to make an ornament of pure gold and engrave on it as on a seal, set apart for Yahweh. Fasten it to the turban with the blue cord on the front of the turban over Aaron's forehead. Because Aaron bears the guilt for any errors committed by the people of Israel in consecrating their holy gifts, this ornament is always to be on his forehead, so that the gifts for Yahweh will be accepted by him. You are to weave the checkered tunic of fine linen, make a turban of fine linen, and make a belt, the work of a weaver in colors. Likewise, for Aaron's sons, make tunics, sashes, and headgear expressing dignity and splendor, With them clothe your brother Aaron and his sons. Then anoint them, inaugurate them, and consecrate them, so that they will be able to serve me in the office of Kohen. Also make for them linen shorts reaching from waist to thigh, to cover their bare flesh. Aaron and his sons are to wear them when they go into the tent of meeting, and when they approach the altar to minister in the holy place, so that they won't incur guilt and die. This is to be a perpetual regulation, both for him and for his descendants. Chapter 29. Here is what you are to do to consecrate them for ministry to me in the office of Kohen. Take 1 young bull and 2 rams without defect. Also matcha cakes mixed with olive oil, and matcha wafers spread with oil, all made from fine wheat flour. Put them together in a basket and present them in the basket along with the bull and the 2 rams. Bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance of the tent of meeting and wash them with water. Take the garments and put on Aaron the tunic, the robe for the ritual vest, the vest itself, and the breastplate. Fasten the vest on him with its belt. Put the turban on his head and attach the holy ornament to the turban. Then take the anointing oil and anoint him by pouring it on his head. Bring his sons, put tunics on them, wrap sashes around them, Aaron and his sons, and put the headgear on their heads. The office of Kohen is to be theirs by a permanent regulation. Thus you will consecrate Aaron and his sons. Bring the young bull to the front of the tent of meeting. Aaron and his sons are to lay their hands on the bull's head, and you are to slaughter the bull in the presence of Yahweh at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Take some of the bull's blood and put it on the horns of the altar with your finger. Pour out all the rest of the blood at the base of the altar. Take all the fat that covers the inner organs, the covering of the liver and the 2 kidneys, and the 2 kidneys with their fat, and offer them up in smoke on the altar. But the bull's flesh, skin, and dung you are to destroy by fire outside the camp. It is a sin offering. Take 1 of the rams. Aaron and his sons are to lay their hands on the ram's head, and you are to slaughter the ram, take its blood, and splash it on all sides of the altar. Quarter the ram, wash the inner organs and the lower parts of the legs, and put them with the quarters and the head. Then offer up the whole ram in smoke on the altar. It is a burnt offering for Yahweh, a pleasing aroma, an offering made to Yahweh by fire. Take the other ram. Aaron and his sons are to lay their hands on the ram's head, and you are to slaughter the ram. Take some of its blood and put it on the lobe of Aaron's right ear, on the lobes of his sons' right ears, on the thumbs of their right hands, on the big toes of their right feet. Take the rest of the blood and splash it on all sides of the altar. Then take some of the blood that is on the altar and some of the blood, I'm going to take more medicine. Give me 30 seconds. Okay, here we go. Then take some of the blood that is on the altar and some of the anointing oil and sprinkle it on Aaron and his clothing and on his sons and the clothing of his sons with him, so that he and his clothing will be consecrated, and with him his sons and his sons' clothing. Also take the fat from the ram, the fat tail, the fat that covers the inner organs, the 2 kidneys, the fat covering them, and the right thigh, for it is a ram of consecration, along with 1 loaf of bread, 1 cake of oiled bread, and 1 wafer from the basket of matzah, which is before Yahweh, and put it all in the hands of Aaron and his sons. They are to serve them as a wave offering in the presence of Yahweh. Then take them back and burn them up in smoke on the altar on top of the burnt offering to be a pleasing aroma before Yahweh. It is an offering made to Yahweh by fire. Take the breast of the ram for Aaron's consecration and wave it as a wave offering before Yahweh. It will be your share. Consecrate the breast of the wave offering and the thigh of any contribution that has been waved and raised up, whether from the ram of consecration or from anything else meant for Aaron and his sons. This will belong to Aaron and his sons as their share perpetually, due from the people of Israel. It will be a contribution from the people of Israel, from their peace offerings, their contribution to Yahweh. The holy garments of Aaron will be used by his sons after him. They will be anointed and consecrated in them. The son who becomes Kohen in his place, who comes into the tent of meeting to serve in the holy place, is to wear them for 7 days. Take the ram of consecration and boil its meat in a holy place. Aaron and his sons will eat the ram's meat and the bread in the basket at the entrance to the tent of meeting. They are to eat the things with which atonement was made for them, to inaugurate and consecrate them. No one else may eat this food, because it is holy. If any of the meat for the consecration or any of the bread remains until morning, burn up what remains. It is not to be eaten because it is holy. Carry out all these orders I have given you concerning Aaron and his sons. You are to spend 7 days consecrating them. Each day offer a young bull as a sin offering, besides the other offerings of atonement. Offer the sin offering on the altar as your atonement for it, then anoint it to consecrate it. 7 days you will make atonement on the altar and consecrate it. Thus the altar will be especially holy, and whatever touches the altar will become holy. Now this is what you are to offer on the altar: 2 lambs a year old, regularly every day. The 1 lamb you are to offer in the morning and the other lamb at dusk. With the 1 lamb, after 2 quarts of finely ground flour, mixed with 1 quart of oil from pressed olives, along with 1 quart of wine as a drink offering. The other lamb you are to offer at dusk. Do with it as with the morning grain and drink offerings. It will be a pleasing aroma, an offering made to Yahweh by fire. Through all your generations, this is to be the regular burnt offering at the entrance to the tent of meeting before Yahweh. There is where I will meet with you to speak with you. There I will meet with the people of Israel, and the place will be consecrated by my glory. I will consecrate the tent of meeting and the altar. Likewise, I will consecrate Aaron and his sons to serve me in the office of Kohen. Then I will live with the people of Israel and be their God. They will know that I am Yahweh, their God, who brought them out of the land of Egypt in order to live with them. I am Yahweh, their God. One more chapter. Chapter 30. You are to make an altar on which to burn incense. Make it of acacia wood. It is to be 18 inches square and 3 feet high. Its horns are to be of one piece with it, overlaid with pure gold, its top, all around its sides, and its horns, and put around it a molding of gold. Make 2 gold rings for it under its molding at the 2 corners on both sides. This is where the carrying poles will go. Make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. Place it in front of the curtain by the ark for the testimony, in front of the ark cover that is over the testimony, where I will meet with you. Aaron will burn fragrant incense on it as a pleasing aroma every morning. He is to burn it when he prepares the lamps. Aaron is also to burn it when he lights the lamps at dusk. This is the regular burning of incense before Yahweh through all your generations. You are not to offer unauthorized incense on it, or a burnt offering or a grain offering. And you are not to pour a drink offering on it. Aaron is to make atonement on its horns once a year. With the blood of the sin offering of atonement, he is to make atonement for it once a year through all your generations. It is especially holy to Yahweh. Yahweh said to Moshe, when you take a census of the people of Israel and register them, each, upon registration, is to pay a ransom for his life to Yahweh, to avoid any breakout of plague among them during the time of the census. Everyone subject to the census is to pay as an offering to Yahweh half a shekel, by the standard of the sanctuary shekel. Everyone over 20 years of age who is subject to the census is to give this offering to Yahweh. The rich is not to give more, or the poor less than the half shekel when giving Yahweh's offering to atone for your lives. You are to take the atonement money from the people of Israel and use it for the service in the tent of meeting, so that it will be a reminder of the people of Israel before Yahweh to atone for their lives. Yahweh said to Moshe, you are to make a basin of bronze with a base of bronze for washing. Place it between the tent of meeting and the altar and put water in it. Aaron and his sons will wash their hands and feet there when they enter the tent of meeting. They are to wash with water so that they won't die. Also, when they approach the altar to minister by burning an offering for Yahweh, they are to wash their hands and feet so that they won't die. This is to be a perpetual law for them through all their generations. Yahweh said to Moshe, take the best spices, 500 shekels of myrrh, half this amount of aromatic cinnamon, 250 shekels of aromatic cane, 500 shekels of cassia, and 1 gallon of olive oil, and make them into a holy anointing oil, blend it and perfume it as would an expert perfume maker. It will be a holy anointing oil. Use it to anoint the tent of meeting, the ark for the testimony, the table and all its utensils, the menorah and all its utensils, the incense altar, the altar for burnt offerings, and all its utensils, and the basin with its base. You are to consecrate them. They will be especially holy, and whatever touches them will be holy. Then you are to anoint Aaron and his sons. You are to consecrate them to serve me in the office of Kohen. Tell the people of Israel, this is to be a holy anointing oil for me through all your generations. It is not to be used for anointing a person's body, and you are not to make any like it with the same composition of ingredients. It is holy, and you are to treat it as holy. Whoever makes any like it or uses it on any unauthorized person is to be cut off from his people. Yahweh said to Moshe, take aromatic plant substances, balsam resin, sweet onycha root, and bitter galbanum gum. These spices, along with frankincense, all in equal quantities, and make incense blended and perfumed as would an expert perfume maker. I must be getting tired. I'm gonna start from 34 again. Yahweh said to Moshe, take aromatic plant substances, balsam resin, sweet onycha root, and bitter galbanum gum. These spices, along with frankincense, all in equal quantities, and make incense blended and perfumed as would an expert perfume maker, salted, pure, and holy. You are to grind up some of it very finely and put it in front of the testimony in the tent of meeting where I will meet with you. You are to regard it as especially holy. You are not to make for your own use any incense like it with the same composition of ingredients. You are to treat it as holy for Yahweh. Whoever makes up any like it to use as perfume is to be cut off from his people. If the next chapter is shorter than 30 verses, I'll read it. If longer than 30, I'll stop. Oh, it's short. That's a sign. Okay, last chapter. I am tired. Chapter 31. Yahweh said to Moshe, I have singled out Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Yehudah. I have filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom, understanding, and knowledge concerning every kind of artisanry. He is a master of designing gold, silver, bronze, cutting precious stones to be set, wood carving, and every other craft. I'm tired. I have also appointed as his assistant Oholiab, the son of Achisamach, of the tribe of Dan. Moreover, I have endowed all the craftsmen with the wisdom to make everything I have ordered you: the tent of meeting, the ark for the testimony, the ark cover above it, all the furnishings of the tent, the table and its utensils, the pure menorah and all its utensils, the incense altar, the altar for burnt offerings and all its utensils, the basin and its base, the garments for officiating, the holy garments for Aaron the Kohen, and the garments for his sons, so that they can serve in the office of Kohen, the anointing oil, and the incense of aromatic spices for the holy place. They are to make everything just as I have ordered you. Yahweh said to Moshe, tell the people of Israel, you are to observe my Shabbats, for this is a sign between me and you through all your generations, so that you will know that I am Yahweh, who sets you apart for me. Therefore you are to keep my Shabbat, because it is set apart for you. Everyone who treats it as ordinary must be put to death, for whoever does any work on it is to be cut off from his people. On 6 days work will get done, but the 7th day is Shabbat, for complete rest, set apart for Yahweh. Whoever does any work on the day of Shabbat must be put to death. The people of Israel are to keep the Shabbat. to observe Shabbat through all their generations as a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the people of Israel forever. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, but on the seventh day he stopped working and rested. When he had finished speaking with Moshe on Mount Sinai, Yahweh gave him the 2 tablets of the testimony, tablets of stone inscribed by the finger of God. Okay, I think I'm thoroughly done. I have my fill. Yeah, I'm done. I don't wanna, I could, no, I can't. Okay, I have to stop. I'm gonna start speaking gibberish because I'm tired. Okay, thank you very much. Namaste. Chanting's next. The funny fact is I could speak in Sanskrit like forever, but any other languages I cannot do it more than like half an hour. So like 45 minutes max. After that I get tired. But Sanskrit I could do it for like 10 hours. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day. Namaste. Oh yeah, chanting next. I could do that like right away. It doesn't chanting doesn't make me tired at all. It does the opposite of making me tired. Okay. Thank you.